There we go. We are recording now. So I would like to give you all a quick overview of what this session will look like. So in a moment, I will introduce some of our great student leaders who will be helpful resources for you as they talk about getting ready for registration. I do want to say that this session is specifically for currently enrolled USF students. Therefore, if you are an incoming or prospective USF student, then this information does not apply to you, as there is a completely different process for getting your class schedule for your first semester at USF. So I also want to say that we are definitely not experts on that process for getting your first semester schedule. So we will not be able to answer any questions related to incoming student registration either. But I do encourage you to seek out those USF orientation resources if you are an incoming or prospective student, so that you can learn about what that process actually looks like. And other kind of sidebar reminder, always check your USF email for specific instructions on your next steps and how you should proceed. So if that applies to you, so like if you are not currently enrolled at USF, feel free to let us know if you need the orientation website link or anything like that. But again, just a reminder, this is for currently enrolled students, and so we will not take it personally if you need to exit the space, since this will not apply to you. But great, so that being said, today we will give you some helpful tips and information for currently enrolled USF students about registration. And then we'll have a Q&A session where you'll get a chance to ask the two pals some great questions. So you can submit the questions throughout our time together in the chat, and then we will also have time at the end to answer those questions, and you can even just come off mute and have a conversation with us if you have additional questions as well. But before we dive in, here are a few reminders and housekeeping rules. So this session is being recorded and will be uploaded on our website, Instagram, and YouTube channel. But during the first part of the session, we ask that you stay muted, and then once we get to the Q&A period, we'll go ahead and have you all feel free to turn on your camera, use the raise hand function, or just unmute yourself or type in the chat to let us know you have a question. But before we begin, I would also just like to remind everyone that this chat is a part of the University of South Florida. USF is guided by our principles of community, and one of which involves dialogue with respect. So we're going to be really sure that we embody that today, and therefore if you have questions, let's make sure that the questions are consistent with the content being shared this evening. So in a moment, I am going to turn it over to our peer advisor leaders, also known as PALs, but before I do, let me tell you a little more about them. So PALs are a team of USF students in New Student Connections that are here to help you during your time at USF by giving you some individualized support and connecting you to helpful resources on campus. These virtual chats will be hosted by two PALs, so y'all will have a chance to connect with some great student leaders interested in helping you as new and current BULLs. So the PALs joining us today are Stephen and Penny, so take it away, y'all.
Thanks, Jen. Like she said, I'm Steven. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I'm excited to be here with you. I'm a fourth-year geography major, and I am from Gainesville, Florida. Today, we will be learning more about all things about getting ready for registration. By the end of this session, you all will have a great start knowing how to remove your holds and how to register for your classes.
And I'm Penny. I use she, her, hers pronouns, and I'm a junior double majoring in marketing and integrated PR and advertising, and I'm from Clearwater, Florida. I'm so excited to talk about this topic tonight. Perfect. So now we're going to start. We're going to first go over, obviously, how to remove holds and register for classes, and we're going to go over the Office of Academic Advocacy. So the Office of Academic Advocacy provides support, guidance, and coordinated care to undergrad students in academic distress. Academic advocates coordinate the most appropriate support for each student and create action plans with them. All undergraduate students are assigned to an academic advocate. So what is academic advocacy trying to prevent? Unclear or unreasonable goals, social isolation, insufficient academic preparation, academic disengagement, unmet expectations or transition shock, challenges of new freedom, kind of, moving to school, financial concerns. I've actually met with academic advocacy to kind of talk about financial aid, and they've been a great help. or distraction with conflicting commitments. And a lot of people get confused about the difference between academic advocates and academic advisors. So first, just kind of to explain each of them, academic advocates monitor student academic progress. Um, they they discuss like student issues impacting a student's ability to persist at USF, and when necessary, coordinate care partners support to help students find solutions to issues. Academic advisors, though, are kind of focused more on, like, and the name, academic concerns like planning their courses within their major, removing academic holds, and helping students understand USF academic policies and procedures.
All right. And before we get into all of our information, we need to go over some important dates. So as a reminder, midterm grades are posted March 9th. The withdrawal deadline for spring 2022 is Saturday, March 26th. And registration for summer and fall 2022 begins on March 28th. And before you register, make sure you check Oasis for your assigned registration date and time, because not every student has the same registration time. Some people register early, some people register later. So yeah, make sure to check Oasis. All right, and now we're going to go over some common holds. These are not all of the holds that you could possibly find, but this is a list of the common ones. So you have an AA and or the AP hold. This means that you need to meet with an academic advisor. For the College of Arts and Sciences, there's a different process which you must complete a Canvas module in order to clear these holds instead of meeting with an academic advisor. There's an AR hold, which is the admissions documents. Your admission documents are needed. The CC hold, you have a payment due. The PF hold, you have something with parking services, so like a ticket or you got to pay for your parking permit. You have the IMMH hold, which is your immunization record hold. You have your MJ hold, which is your major declaration hold, and you have your SI hold, which is your student health insurance hold. So yeah, make sure to check Oasis to see which holds you have before you register for classes, or else you won't be able to.
And now I'll go into how you can meet with your academic advisor. So first you can go through Archivum, which is through MyUSF. You can follow the prompts to schedule an advising appointment with an advisor from your major, or get in line for virtual walk-ins. Yeah, not every college offers walk-ins or drop-in hours. I know, for instance, I'm a marketing major, and I know a lot of the business students are all just drop-in, so it just depends on your major. And you can check all the specifics on your college or department academic advising website.
All right, and now we're going to walk through how to register for classes. So first, once you have all your holds removed, you're going to log into Oasis. And then you're going to go to the My Resources tab, and then you're going to click Oasis. And then from there, you are going to select student, and then you're going to select registration. And then once you're on this screen, you're going to select your class schedule search and the term you want to search. So this would be either summer 2022 or fall 2022. And so from there, it'll bring you to the class schedule search. And so this is what it will look like. And in the features, you're going to have your subject, which is going to be, so let's say like for me, I'm a geography major. I will look up GEO or geography or GIS for geographic information systems. And these subjects would take you specifically to the classes offered in that in those subjects. And then if you know your course number for the course you want, you can type in your course number. Um, for if you want an online class, a hybrid class, or an all-in-person class, you can select your instructional method. Then you can also select your campus. So uh, you can either take classes off campus, so online at the St. Pete campus, the Tampa campus, or the Sarasota Manistee campus. Um, and then if you have any preferred instructors for the classes, you can select instructors and see what they're teaching. And there's all sorts of things you can select through in order to find the perfect class for you. And so how to read the class schedule search. When you find a class when you find a class that fits your schedule, write down the 5-digit CRN number. So in these examples, it would be the highlighted for trig, it would be 81829 or, oh yeah, both of them are trig. So yeah, they have two different classes because they're two separate dates and times. Yeah. All right, and so once you have this CRN number, you're going to input this 5-digit number into Oasis under register, add, or drop classes. And that is it for the registration tutorial. If you follow these steps, you can register for classes, and it's really simple. If you would like more guidance on how to use this new schedule search, copy the link below, usf.edu/registrar/register. And so yeah, I would like to give a few tips for like how I personally like to schedule my classes. So I'm not a morning person, and so whenever I start looking for my class schedule, I will I will filter out the morning classes. So I will prefer afternoons, so like 2 or later. And I don't like to take classes on Fridays, so I will also filter out Friday classes. So just, no mornings and Monday through Thursdays. And it makes my life really easy being able to filter through all of the different options.
I will also give some tips as well. I'm on the other side of that. I like morning classes. I do not like night classes. So I like to make sure that I get all my classes done by 3:15. So I usually try to do like 9:30s, 11 or 12:30 courses, which I filter out. I don't mind Friday classes, but I do try to not take them. So once again, I use a lot of the filtering also, and to be able to visually see my schedule, I use a website called freecollegeschedulemaker.com, which I then input all my classes in, and I can see a Monday through Friday, or hopefully Monday through Thursday schedule with all my classes.
And let's say you're going to register for class and you find out that the class you want is full. You can select to be on a wait list and you will be put into the class if people drop out. Or I've seen people on like Facebook groups, they will ask people if anyone's going to drop XYZ class, and if they do, they can be ready to register for that class that is getting dropped, and it just makes the process a whole lot easier than trying to select every like I don't know, watch it every day. You can easily find someone who's going to drop it if they do.
I can also give the suggestion of using the app called Coursicle. You can find on like any app store. You put in your school in the specific section that you're waiting on, and you will get a notification if someone drops the class, so you can sign up for it.
And yeah, so that is how you register for classes. And does anyone have any questions for right now? You can type it in the chat. Um, I know we breezed through that, but it's a pretty simple process. And if you need more help, we're gladly here to answer your questions. All right. So if not, okay, now we're going to answer a few frequently asked questions related to these topics and then end the recording. The first question that we get a lot is, what if I don't know what classes I need to take? So if I don't know what classes I need to take, the first place that I go is in DegreeWorks. You can find DegreeWorks in your Oasis. And this is a document that will show you all the classes that you need to graduate or all your requirements to graduate. And then you can find classes that will fulfill these requirements. And it makes life a whole lot easier because you're not always having to go to your advisor and ask, what classes do I need to take? There's a giant list of all the various classes you can take. And you can also access the undergraduate catalog to see suggested programs of study. So it's basically just a fancy way of saying a plan of which classes to take each semester, but you should always talk to your academic advisor to make sure that you're on track to take the classes you need at the right times. This resource is just a good place to start if you're waiting to talk to an advisor or you want to plan ahead. And so the website for that would be, actually, I'm going to put it in the chat. I guess, should I read it? I'll just read it. It is catalog.usf.edu/content.php CATOID =16 and NAVOID =2287.
Well, I can go on to the next frequently asked question. So, what happens if I can't get an academic advising appointment before my registration date? If you don't have an academic advising or an AA hold, then you can still go ahead and still register based on what you have planned in your degree works or based on your program of study. It is always better to start with some classes registered, and then whenever you can meet with an advisor, they can help you adjust if needed. Um, but it's also important to try to meet with your advisor sooner rather than later to clear your AA hold, because if once registration starts, then response times are a little bit slower because every single student at USF is trying to talk to advisors. Um, Try emailing the general academic advising email address for your specific department for quick/simple questions. I always make sure that you're checking your USF email and reading all the instructions on any of the websites or the Canvas module that you've been provided related to advising, because each college has different processes, so they can help you better if you followed all the instructions correctly. For instance, if you're part of the College of Arts and Sciences, then you just have to complete a Canvas module and email the advising email when you've completed all the steps in the module. Like, you don't have to actually meet with an academic advisor if you're in the College of Arts and Sciences. What I kind of try to tell my students, though, as we said, it gets kind of busy to talk to advisors as time gets closer to registration. So I recommend that people meet with their advisors sooner, as soon as possible, if they know they're going to take summer or fall classes.
And then so another frequently asked question that we receive is, if I want to change my major, how do I register for classes? And so the most common answer you will hear for all of the questions that we ask is, try to meet with an academic advisor in the department that you want to switch to. So your best friends during this process are going to be your academic advisors, because they know um, all about all the various classes, the requirements you need to graduate, and like some even offer like helpful hints on like how to build your schedule. So they are your best friends when it comes to registration and graduating on time. And then after that, you would want to look at the class catalog for the program of study or of the major that you want to switch to, and see if there are non-major restricted classes that you can go ahead and register for before you have officially switched your major over. So you can easily knock out things, if you know what you want to switch to ahead of time, by doing the classes that you can take. And let's say you can't switch immediately into the major you want. You can, but you can in like next semester or in a few semesters. If you go and do these classes ahead of time, it's less stress that you have to try and complete these classes in a timely manner, because you already have them done.
And I can kind of following up with the last frequently asked questions. So what do I do if there's a lot going on in my life and I'm not sure if I'm ready to register for classes just yet? And that's what an academic advocate is for. They exist so they can help you talk through different plans that'll make sure you can still graduate on time, but still also get the help you need to be successful. Their website is at usf.edu/OAA, or you can email them at academicadvocacy@usf.edu. To wrap up, we just want to remind everyone that it is never too early to talk to an academic advisor or get help from an academic advocate. Additionally, during these key times of the semester, make sure you're checking and actually reading your USF email, because they send all of the really important information you need to be successful as a student through that email.
Awesome. Thank you, Penny and Stephen, for all of your great tips and for walking through all of those processes for everyone. Before I end the recording, I just want to reiterate that you can find more information and follow up with the Office of Academic Advocacy at usf.edu/OAA, or email them at academicadvocacy@usf.edu, as Penny had said just now. But then to stay connected with us at New Student Connections, follow us on Instagram at USF_NSC, or join our Bulls Connect page at bit.ly, so bit.ly/USF Bulls Connect-NSC. So, or you can just search for New Student Connections on Bulls Connect to join our page. So I will now be ending the recording. Thanks for joining us today, everyone.